Good morning, everybody, and thank you all for coming. I'm Cpl Frank Jang, Media Relations Officer for IHIT. So today, IHIT is announcing charges on a homicide investigation from approximately 5 months ago here in Surrey. Back on February the 17th of this year, the Surrey RCMP responded to a complaint of an assault at a residence in the 13,300 block of 105 Avenue. Now, when frontline officers arrived at the scene, they found 68-year-old Mr. Tee Bor with very serious injuries. Mr. Bor was taken to hospital where he sadly succumbed to his injuries and died. His death was deemed a homicide, and so IHIT was called in to take conduct of the case. Now, I can tell you that our investigators quickly determined that this was not a random incident and that there was no continued risk to the public safety. Our detectives and our partners poured considerable time and energy into solving this case. An extensive neighborhood canvass was undertaken, numerous interviews conducted, and considerable forensic evidence analyzed in the past 5 months. The tireless work of our investigators and partners has now resulted in charge approval by the BC Prosecution Service. And this past Friday on July 12th, Mr. P. Lee Pai, who is 26 years old, resident of Surrey, was arrested and now charged with second-degree murder in the death of Mr. Bor. Mr. Pai will appear before a judge sometime this afternoon. As everyone can imagine, this is a very difficult time for the family of Mr. Bor, his friends and his associates, and our deepest condolences from IHIT goes out to all of them, but particularly Mr. Bor's family and to anyone else that was affected by his death. I can take your questions.
Was there a relationship between the victim and the suspect?
We don't believe that this was a random incident, and the extent of their relationship, if any, we're still actually not certain.
So you're not
But
sure if they knew each other?
Yeah, the two are not related. They're not family. I can confirm that for you, but we're not entirely certain exactly the extent of their relationship, or if they even had a relationship.
So what led to the charges against this individual?
Yeah, I mean, that'll speak to the evidence which has now been forwarded to the BC Prosecution Service, our Crown Counsel, and should there be a trial, it'll all come out before trial. And I should also mention that we have to respect the process. Again, the good news is that yes, there are charges. One man will be held accountable for this tragic death, but those details, we have to respect the judicial process, and unfortunately I'm restricted by the information that I can provide at this time.
Is this individual mentally fit to stand trial? Is that a question in this proceeding?
Not to my knowledge. That's not a concern as far as I know. Any other questions? Okay.
Can you confirm how Mr. Bor was killed?
I can tell you that he had very serious injuries that obviously led to his death. I can't get into the specifics, the details. Also, we have to keep in mind that our investigators may be questioning others, that we may actually be, there might be other people that we are going to follow up for interviews. So, and of course, it's before the court, so I can't provide any more details than I've already provided.
Is Mr. Pai known to police?
Well, I can tell you that Mr. Pai has had a few negative interactions with police. He does not have a criminal record as far as I know. Yeah. And we do not believe that this was gang-related, sorry.
Was there an altercation, actually? Was this a result of an altercation, or is this just gang activity?
We don't believe that this was gang-related, but there was an altercation that occurred at the residence.
So he has had run-ins with police before, just no criminal record?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, he's had a few negative interactions with the police. Any other questions? No? Okay. Thanks, everybody.